I think that's it. Yup, that's it. We're live. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. I got the man, the myth, the legend, Hex the Realtor here. Hex, what's up, brother?
What's up, brother? Happy to be here.
Yeah, man. We're going to get this little party started. We got some tequila ready, guys. Got a few good ones here. We're probably going to be focusing on one of my new favorites, this 𝘛𝘦𝘲𝘀𝘀 right here in the middle. Michael Jordan's tequila that he is hitting the tequila market by storm right now. So what I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to go ahead and pause this music real quick. We had some theme music going. We're going to pause this. We're going to jump right into our promo video, bro. We're going to introduce the little show here called Tequila Transactions. And this is episode 13 with Hex the Realtor. He has some amazing announcements for you guys. And we're going to talk a little bit about real estate, how to get your license. And then also we're going to chat a little bit about the market. And then we're going to dive into some tequila in the meantime. So I'm going to go ahead and pause this. Let's go ahead and move this over, brother. We're going to stop sharing this. And then, guys, I will be monitoring the chat here. I do have it linked on my phone, so I can hear you guys. I can see you guys. Anybody want to ask any questions throughout this Tequila and Transactions episode, go for it. I'm going to be monitoring everything on Facebook Live, you guys. So we got a few people joining now. Feel free to ask questions. If you're interested in real estate, interested in tequila, you're looking to maybe even get your license, I think you came to the right spot. So let's go ahead and kick this off right now, you guys, and then we'll dive right into it. All right, guys. Let's kick this off. This is episode 13 of Tequila Transactions.
Let's do it.
And thanks, guys, for joining us. I got my boy here, Hex the Realtor, newest realtor, just licensed. And he has some exciting news for you guys. Hex, you want to let them know what happened, brother, and what you're doing?
Yeah, man, I'm excited to be here. I got my license a few months ago, but it was a long time coming, actually, since the whole pandemic hit. There was definitely a holdup, since last year. Back, I think it was May of last year, I started, taking my classes, studying, ready to take the test, and then the state of California just pretty much stopped everything, and I didn't take my test for months and months, and I even stopped studying, and I was just focusing on my health, and just my well-being, my family. So took a break off of that. And just recently, a few months ago, they actually opened it back up. And, I finally decided, hey, I just got to put a date on the calendar and just go take the test. And yeah, sure enough, back in April, got my, passed my license, my test, and got my license. And what was it, April 11th, I think it was. And now just a few months in, I'm trying to see what brokerage I was going to join. And, I wanted to announce that I actually just joined my brother here, Ricky J. Alvarez, Ricky the Realtor, with Alvarez and Associates. So we're excited. We're celebrating. We're going to do a lot of big things. We're creating a big business here, and we're just getting started. So amazing stuff.
That's it, man. I love that. We're just getting started. We have a wealth of knowledge, in Hector's previous endeavors in his journey. He's created an amazing referral network, an amazing network in general, and in combination with mine, we're looking to really expand our team, expand our horizons. If you're looking to join a brokerage, some brokerages out there offer you all these bells and whistles. For us, we're a no bullshit zone. This is folks who are hungry, want to make money, want to sell real estate and help people. Ultimately, is our motto here. We want to be able to help as many families as we can. That's ultimately our goal. And we're just looking to build a very sound team with great individuals who are aspiring to do better and aspiring to make this a better industry. And, ultimately our focus is clients, and our client is very important to us. And that's why we're here. And that's why we're doing what we're doing, is to continue to help our amazing clients achieve their goals in real estate. So, we won't make this into a recruiting call. Ultimately, if you guys have questions, if you'd like to hear about the amazing things that we're doing here at Alvarez and Associates with Boulevard Real Estate, just reach out to us. We'd love to have a conversation with you. Let you know about the amazing things that we have to offer. In addition, we're powered by a huge technology company called 𝘲𝘬𝘲. If you haven't heard about 𝘲𝘬𝘲, they're an amazing company. Look them up. They're based in San Francisco and just doing some phenomenal things and making some huge strides in our industry and just making this industry a better industry for the generations to come. So I don't know if you want to drink your tequila straight, bro, but I think this definitely calls for a cheers.
Yeah, it is a cheers.
I'm gonna put a little bit of this mineral water in here, so I'm not drinking straight tequila, but at your leisure, bro. Whatever you'd like to do.
Yeah, we'll do. I'll pour some.
A little splash.
Yeah.
All right, bro. Cheers. All right, guys. This is a 𝘛𝘦𝘲𝘀𝘀 tequila, añejo tequila. So, cheers, guys. All right. Not too shabby.
The passion fruit is nice.
Yeah, I didn't have any. I didn't have any citrus, so
this is
passion fruit. So we're dropping a little bit of passion fruit, sparkling water in there. So it actually tastes pretty good. I usually do citrus, like grapefruit or like lime or lemon or some flavors like that. So it's not kind of crazy, but it's actually tastes pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. So
this room is a little chilly, but with this little drink, it's actually warming us up a little bit.
Yeah, so
we have the AC right on top. So
we've been blasting the AC in here, and I was actually freezing in the other room while Hector was making his calls. But yeah, brother. So I think first and foremost, let's talk a little tequila, and then we can also kind of bounce back and forth. I'll ask you some questions a little bit later about your journey, and the process of getting licensed, because I know there's a lot of folks out there. This is an industry where you can definitely work a ton and make a lot of money, or you can just work a couple deals a year, make some good money on the side, and just kind of establish a nice relationship. Because I'll be honest with you guys, you're gonna make some amazing connections in this industry. You're gonna make some amazing connections with your clients, with the other realtors that you're going to be working with. In addition to that, all the other folks that are kind of involved in the process, whether it's a lender, a title company, inspector, stuff like that. So I will say that this is an amazing industry to really kind of broaden your horizons, get out of your comfort zone a little bit, and kind of break out of your shell. It can be very demanding, but at times, at the end of the day, the most rewarding part, especially for me, is ultimately the end result, which is getting your clients the keys or helping them sell a property to put them in a position to either reinvest, either to upsize, downsize, whatever their goals are. But for me, I think that's the ultimately prize. Is just getting that expression, getting that thanks at the end of the day for all the hard work that we've done. So, but yeah, I mean, it's definitely fitting that we're here. We're talking about this, and we're kind of chatting a little bit, and definitely kind of cheering to some tequila, because it's definitely been a journey for Hector. It's been a journey for me. It's taken me about 5 years to really get where I wanted to be. And ultimately, I think the sky is definitely the limit for us as far as what we're looking to do, and just create an amazing group of real estate agents throughout the entire Bay Area, so that you're always being served by one of our agents out here. So we're working on some great things. We got a lot of crazy things that are on our mind that we're brainstorming on. But I think, this is only the beginning, you guys. So if you want to go on for the ride, once again, this isn't a recruiting call, but if you guys want to go along for the ride, just let us know. But just talking a little bit of tequila, bro. I know you're part of a huge Latino family as well. Just want to know from you, is tequila part of kind of the everyday party scene? Is there something else on the table, or or what are you seeing when you go out to the family events?
Well, yeah, tequila is definitely part of traditional like Mexican culture, right?
Right.
And so, for special occasions, you'll see a bottle. Usually, when you go to an event, somebody will bring something.
Right.
Is a almost like sense of celebration, right?
Yep.
And if you bring that to an event, it's almost as a respect. Like, here you go, you deserve this, right? And so
exactly.
Some people can get out of hand on how they consume it, but at the end of the day, that's what it was meant for, to celebrate, to cheers on happy moments, and sometimes on sad moments too. It kind of goes on different emotions for sure.
Right.
But for example, on our wedding, like with my wife and I, my dad was like, "Hey, we're definitely gonna have tequila, right?" We actually had 2 days of the wedding. We had the traditional ceremony on Friday, and then we had like a pretty much a fiesta type of wedding the second day.
Okay.
So we had like a banda, we had mariachi, we had,
Nice.
it was pretty cool. And my dad was like, we're gonna get some tequila. And I don't know if you, Don Ramon.
Oh yeah.
My dad has some type of hookup, and he bought like, I don't know, those 12 packs.
Oh yeah, you got
tequila
bottles. You got a whole wine crate of tequila.
Yeah, he pretty much got. So he put like two in like each of the tables. Like, yeah. We even had extra where people were just kind of taking home.
Sure.
So yeah, that was kind of bigger experience with a bunch of tequila going home on that day. But usually when you go to weddings or anything like that, I mean, you're gonna see some type of tequila. So I'm all about it. You know?
Exactly, man. I think it's a staple. It's like you said, it's something that you can celebrate with, something that you can maybe even share your sorrows with somebody. But tequila is kind of that it's embedded in the Mexican culture where it's there. You know, it's going to be at that barbecue, might even be at that baptism, at the wedding.
Yeah.
I see Jojo Corral. What's up, brother? I see you joined. Let us know if you have any questions.
Oh yeah, Joe.
He's over there. He's probably golfing.
He's probably golfing.
He's probably golfing.
Hole 3 about to, left dog. What did he say?
He's teeing off right now. That's what he's about to tee off right now. But yeah, I mean, I agree with you 100%, bro. It's something that's very embedded in our culture, even not just with Mexican people, but in Latinos in general. It's very, it's one of those very common drinks that you'll find, whether, like I said, you're at a baptism or you're at a wedding. But there's a lot of other cultures in Latino, in our Latin cultures that steer towards rum, or steer towards what's the other, mezcal, or other things of that nature. So there's always those drinks, those staples. But for us, typically tequila is the drink of choice. Unless you got that uncle that loves his whiskey or his brandy or stuff like that, or you got the aunt that sticks to vodka. But ultimately for us, tequila is just that one drink that we can all kind of agree on. So, for us, for me in particular, I would say that I steer more towards añejos because I do like to sip my tequila a little bit more. I don't like to dilute it too much, but there is some folks who do like to shoot tequila. That's where you go with the blancos, a little bit more virgin tequila is a little bit easier to shoot. You're not going too crazy. But ultimately, I would say that, for me, that's my drink of choice. I go with a nice añejo. I like the nice color, robust color on it. Yeah. What do you think, bro? What's your...
I like añejos too, a little sip. I mean, when you're young, you want to shoot everything. So
that's true.
You start, and when you're young, you're not tasting the really good tequila, right? You're just kind of getting whatever's the least expensive at the time.
Exactly.
𝘔𝘲𝘓𝑒𝑟𝑜, but there's some 𝘔𝘲𝑓𝑒𝑟𝑜 that's really good. Don't get me wrong. It's just, you're not at that level where you're like seeing the nicer and more high quality tequila, which, goes a long way. Mm-hmm. So definitely something that's a little bit aged, tastes a lot better for sure in your palate.
Yeah, I agree. I think I think we have the similar taste in that regard. But some people, they're like the virgin taste. They like the more clear tequilas. I mean, you can find a lot of clear tequilas out there. Some are even now clear añejos, which just means that they've distilled out the color. So they take this bottle right here, they're going to distill out the color to make it look like it's a blanco, but it's actually not. It's actually been aged, and now the color's been distilled out. So they call those cristalinos. A lot more common now. People drink those a lot more, frequently now. You'll see a Don Julio 70, which is a cristalino tequila. You'll see 1800, also cristalino. I'm trying to remember, there's another common one that a lot of people are drinking now too. Maestro is another one that's very common. So there's a lot of common, tequilas who are, I would say, well-known tequilas who are doing their form or their version of cristalino. So that's something to look out for. If you do like something a little bit lighter, like that color or whatever it is, try one of those añejo cristalino tequilas. You're not going to regret it. I usually drink 1800 cristalino. There's some that are from Mexico. Maybe for our next episode, I'll bring one out. But I have one that I'm holding on to called Centinela Eterno. And that tequila is just cool. It has like these really nice ridges around the bottle. And that's one of my favorite out there right now. But I'm waiting for a really special occasion, bro. I don't.
I wasn't the special occasion this time.
We gotta wait. That's for when you close your first escrow, bro. That's
okay.
that one's coming out for the special days. But
There you go.
no, this is a special bottle, bro. I was telling you earlier. Hector looked at me funny. He's like, "What is that?" I'm like, "This is Michael Jordan's tequila." He didn't even believe me.
Michael Jordan.
It's Michael Jordan's new tequila. So if you guys haven't tried 𝘥𝘬𝘲𝘀, it's a very, very good bottle. It's a little bit more on the expensive side, especially if you're gonna go with the añejo. You're paying about $130 or so. An $80 bottle will get, or $80 will get you their reposado. And I'm not sure. I think their blanco tequila is a little bit under that. So it is an expensive bottle. As you can see, it's a very nice looking bottle. You guys can see, look at the curve on this thing. And then underneath it has a nice little kind of maguey. I don't know if you guys can see. There you go. Yeah. And if you look under it this way, you see at the way bottom, it kind of reflects. You get the nice cactus little reflection at the bottom there. So I mean, it is a very nice put together bottle. Sometimes you're paying for that as well. You know, you're paying for the fancy
the
look.
Presentation. You know, that's
always
what it is. With the little box, did it come in a box?
It came in a really nice box, actually.
Oh,
it came in a really nice box. Look at this. See, really nice box, mainly to showcase the bottle. But if you guys can see, it has kind of like these nice little patterns of the agave on there. You guys can see that. You guys can kind of see it at an angle, but it has
like sometimes they'll say like the box is so nice you don't want to throw it away, you know, you just kind of keep it.
Yeah.
So what do you do with all your boxes?
Well, I mean, I don't even keep the boxes because I usually gift all the tequila out.
Oh, okay.
I drink some myself. You know, I have my little private stash. Like I said, I got a few that I hang on to.
Yeah.
Especially bottles that I bring from Mexico because I'm trying to wait for those to be like kind of like my last reserve to drink them because they're so good. I mean, I always want to share it with a special company or a special event, stuff like that. So a lot of my clients, you guys get the good stuff. You guys know who you are. You guys always get nice, good bottles. I like to take care of you guys because I mean, I appreciate all the love and support. I appreciate, you know, you putting your trust in me. And at the end of the day, I'm really appreciative of the opportunity to work with you. So that's why I always really spoil my clients. And ultimately, I want you guys to praise me when you talk to your friends. So when you guys think of me, Ricky the Realtor.
Think of tequila.
Yeah, you think of that bottle of tequila that I gave you. But yeah, every time, and it's mainly just to celebrate the accomplishment, and I think it's probably one of the biggest accomplishments and the biggest purchases you'll ever make. So for me, that's why I take this so seriously, and ultimately that's why I celebrate it so much because I want you guys to be very, very, very impressed, not only with my work, but at the end, be kind of blown away with the gifts I give you guys. So yes, if you work with us, you do get gifts. I don't know how cool Hector's gifts will be, but I know I give some great gifts too. But
I'm gonna have to one up you.
So that, I mean, that's just a little taste of what we do. Like I said, we really care about our clients, care about what we do, and that's why we take the time and effort to make sure that the process we go above and beyond for you guys in the process. So, but yeah. So we don't get too carried away, and I don't get too drunk, bro, and I get off topic here because we don't want to keep people here too long and hearing us babble on. But your journey I would say your journey becoming a real estate agent. I know that you touched on it a little bit. I think you were probably in that awkward real estate class that was just like ready to rock. You were ready to take your test, but then they kind of shut down everything on you guys. Yeah. And it was kind of like that for us too as realtors, because ultimately we were just on this flow starting off the year of 2020, and then come March, they start talking about coronavirus, and then they started talking about it earlier on in the year, but March everything just got shut down. Yeah. So for us, between March and May, it was just a pretty much standstill. We didn't know what to do, and I know you were staying very, very busy, as I was to kind of continue everything moving along and just have make sure that you're better prepared. So what did you do during that, that awkward time, that slow time to get yourself prepared and get you off and running? And by the way, guys, Hector hasn't even been licensed for a couple months, and he already has 2 in escrow, and he's closing his first one next week. So yes, you can start off very busy. You can start off quick and you learn just as fast. Yeah. But ultimately, you can get into this business and start closing escrow. So I'll let Hector give his secret sauce while I pour myself another drink.
Yeah, so I mean, the biggest thing was that, I've always been interested in real estate. I've had people that I looked up to. I've followed you for a while, Ricky. I followed a lot of other.
I didn't pay him to say that.
Followed other people, and you know, I've always wanted to get into real estate one way or another. I started doing a lot of research, listening to podcasts. One of the biggest podcasts that I've listened to is Bigger Pockets.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, it talk about, you know, how to get financially stable, making sure that you understand your long-term goals. Right. And real estate was one of those avenues where you would be able to kind of accomplish that. And so I'm like, you know what, sooner or later, I want to get into real estate.
Right.
And when the whole pandemic hit, that kind of just triggered me to actually approach it a lot faster than what I thought. And so I'm like, you know what, I want to learn everything that has to do with real estate. And so I started listening to podcasts, like I mentioned, reading books, talking to, you know, friends, family, and just really getting into, you know, a learning mode. Yeah. And then soon I decided, hey, I'm gonna get my real estate license just because I wanna, you know how that industry works.
Exactly.
And so I started the process, and you guys already heard how that went. But I also wanted to get into real estate investing. So not just, you know, I own my own home, but I also wanted to get rental properties kind of to get passive income, and obviously, you know, build a portfolio in that way as well. And so I kept going. I kept, you know, just making sure that I learned everything I know. Then, you know, fast forward to this year, I got my license, and I've already been talking to people. Hey, these are my plans. These are my plans. I'm going to be a real estate agent. So whenever that time came, I already had people to call on, or people already had, you know, somebody to call on when they were ready to purchase or even sell. And so that happened so quick that as soon as I got my license, you know, I had two individuals say, hey, I'm ready to go. Are you ready? I'm like, hold on, I still got to, you know, sign my paperwork. I still got to, you know, be with a broker. So I called Ricky. I'm like, hey, bro, can I join your team right away? And obviously it was a longer process than that, but you kind of get the point. It's like, hey, you start planting those seeds, and those seeds will definitely evolve into a great harvest. And yes, you know, it does take a lot of work. Obviously, I got to work on a lot of my marketing campaigns and stuff like that. But, you know, as long as you're consistent with what you're doing, I think, you know, your goals will come into fruition, and make sure that, you know, obviously make it happen, you know.
Right.
It's just a matter of time. It's just being consistent with what you're doing.
Yeah, I agree 100%. You know, I'm brother Nicholas Luna out there. He's probably listening. He calls me Mr. Consistency. He's like, Rick always gets on base no matter what. He's always the guy that gets the single. Yeah. And I think ultimately, I think that just is with life. If you're consistent on what you want to do, you're going to see the fruits of your labor. So I'm a firm believer of that. And I think, you know, I just kept, you know, trying to do what I could to just kind of put Hector in that right position, and make sure that he was doing things that were going to put him in that right position once he was licensed, propel him into that place where he's now starting to earn money quickly, because it can be a really awkward position where you get licensed and you're kind of like, what do I do? Or who do I talk to? Or how do I do this? Or how do I do that? And at least he was doing what every realtor should do, is not be a secret agent, not be, you know, quiet about what you want to do and what your goals are. Ultimately, you know, planting those seeds, getting in front of people, however, which way you do it, whether it's word of mouth, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, whatever social media platform, any platform in general, as long as you're getting in front of people and letting them know what you want to do, you're starting to plant those seeds in their mind and associate yourself with something that you're very passionate about. And for Hector, he's very passionate about real estate investing. So for him, he was just telling everybody in his sphere who he knew, which then started to create a nice little spider web and started to touch other people as well. So ultimately, I would say that is the key, you guys, especially in this business. You want to talk to everybody, you know, every time you're in a conversation, just have some way to bring it up, whether you're talking about, you know, your industry that you're in, or maybe a really nice story about how you helped an amazing family, or certain things where people can really relate to you ultimately. And that's going to stick in their mind. Oh, you know, Hector's in real estate. Hector did this, Hector did that. And that just kind of sticks with them. And then when they think of you, that's when that phone call comes in. That's when those connections come in. So, you know, be consistent. Don't be a secret agent. You know, keep working hard. That's just ultimately in this business, the harder you work, the more results you'll start to see. So ultimately, you know, in this business, the sky is the limit. There is no cap. You can make $50,000 a year. Yeah. You can make $500,000 a year. You can make $1 million a year if you wanted to. It just really depends on your work ethic and you being consistent enough to stay in front of the client or stay in front of potential clients to then in turn develop, your sphere, to keep developing your pipeline, all that good stuff.
So yeah, I do want to add, I mean, currently I'm doing this at a part-time basis. I do have a full-time career. I've been in sales and fleet management. I work for a startup company, and I've been there possibly close to a year now. And so there's a lot of responsibilities that I have, but the good thing about real estate is that it's so flexible. I can do it during my non-working hours and I can make sure that I'm productive enough to actually get some results out of it. And obviously you don't want to overwhelm yourself or take on too much. Just take on enough where you're still making sure that you're serving your clients to the best of your ability. You don't want to take on too much where you're kind of dropping the ball on items that come your way. So I just wanted to really bring that up because people think, hey, you can't really do this on a part-time basis. Well, if you're organized enough and you have the will to do so, you can do it. I mean, I'm doing it. A lot of people also do it. It's just about that want. Do you actually want to do it? And I think that goes a long way when you start kind of putting the pieces together in regards to, obviously you're handling your full-time career, but as well, do you have a side gig? And yes, what is that? And what do you have to do to accomplish those goals that you have in your side gig as well? Because I think about, financial stability and financial long-term goals is like a lot of the millionaires, a lot of the people that are financially financially, they have some type of side gig,
Right.
Whether it's different revenue streams coming in. For me, it's real estate. For me, I have my full-time career, but at the same time, I have this on the side, and that's what I have. And other people have different businesses that bring in different revenues. It's just kind of, it is possible. Just if you want to try it out, check it out, talk to us, and I'm sure we can, share some information you might not know. So
Sure.
reach out.
Yeah, no, we're happy to do that. We're able to help you out, just kind of make, kind of make those connections in your mind, or just be able to kind of give you some insight and some knowledge. We're happy to do that. But yeah, I would highly, discourage you from quitting your day job and just jump into real estate unless you're very prepared, you're financially stable, because it's not cheap to join, you guys. You have to pay money up front to become a real estate agent. You have to pay for your schooling, you have to pay for your licensing, you have to pay for your dues. There's a lot of fees that are associated with being a real estate agent. Ideally, you're paying anywhere between $3,000 to $5,000 a year just to be licensed. So just know that there's marketing, all these other things you have to take into consideration. Everything that you're going to be paying for, to just ensure that you're a real estate agent, like marketing materials and other things of that nature as well. So I highly encourage all you young individuals out there to go to college, get your degree in whatever field that you're very curious about, or you're I would say that you're passionate about. But you can also do real estate while you're going to school. You can do real estate while you're working at your other job. I was working at 2 jobs and doing real estate at the same time, and I had to get rid of one of them, which was my restaurant job, which I would say everybody in this world should probably work one service job in their life, because it just gives you so much perspective. It gives you it humbles you a lot. And for me, I was waiting tables all throughout college at Outback Steakhouse. So shout out to Outback Steakhouse. And I, lived there. That was my job. That's what I did. And then in college, I also got another job working at a jewelry store. And while I was wrapping up and about to graduate, I also started my real estate courses to put me in the position that I wanted to be in. And ultimately, I will tell you guys, I did not want to be a real estate agent. That's not the job I wanted to do. I didn't really choose this career. Well, I would say I'd be lying to you actually, because in 5th grade, one thing I always tell people too, in 5th grade, my project, I had to choose a career. Guess what I chose? I chose real estate as the career that I wanted to be in. And it just kind of so happened that, my family's been in real estate since I was a kid. So everybody was around me was in real estate. My parents, my uncles, my aunts, everybody was in real estate some way or another, whether they're investing or, working in title companies, loan companies, whatever it was. So a lot of people within my family were in real estate. So you can kind of say that they bred me for the business. Like they wanted me to be in real estate since I was a kid, but I was so used to these sleazy realtors, like car salesmen, like that just like they were all after the deal. They just wanted my parents to sell their apartment buildings, or wanted this, wanted that, and they were just always after the deal. Like there was never really that level of that personal touch, or that relationship factor, or I never felt like they were there to help my parents. I felt like they were always there to look out for their pocket.
Yeah.
And so that's really what turned me off. And I think what drove me to be in real estate and be a better real estate agent, because of that sort of interaction as a kid, where, I'm the oldest of three, and my parents' English isn't so great, but they would always give me things to do as I continued to get older and give me more responsibilities. So I went from sweeping carports and stairs to working with city officials, with lenders, with other brokers, stuff like that. So really at a young age, they made me break out of my shell, and I really had to kind of be their translator, their mediator, their spokesperson. So, but I think it was that sort of interaction with realtors that made me really think like maybe this is the industry I need to be in, because I need to change it. I need to make it better. And it wasn't until I met my buddy Joshua and just some amazing realtors that I said, what, this is probably the industry for me, because I love talking with people. I love helping people. I love, for me, I just like to be a problem solver. I like to be a connector, connect people. So I think ultimately that for me was the deciding factor. Like, this might be my calling, because I can make this industry better by approaching it in a different way. So, that's what we live by. I mean, this entire company here at Boulevard Real Estate, our team essentially, that's what we're looking to do. We're looking to help people. We're looking to put you guys in the right position to reach your goals financially, and help you and your families achieve the ultimately the American dream, is home ownership. So went off on a little tangent there, because it kind of went close. It hit close to home on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, but everyone was like, oh, did you always want to be a realtor? No, I didn't. I didn't always want to be a realtor. I think what ultimately, like I said, what really pushed me there was the ability to make this industry better and change it and move it in the right direction. Because a lot of you will know, you guys probably interact with these realtors all the time. They're just, like I said, they're really just like trying to sell you on something. And that's not the way we approach business. So, but yeah, bro, it's crazy. This industry's changing like crazy. I think from when you got in to now, there's been so much changes in just like rules, regulations, all that crazy stuff. Like literally, a little bit over a year ago, we were told we couldn't even do business, and now we're doing business probably tenfold that we were doing. So it's like everything's moving fast, market's going crazy.
Yeah, just in the time that I've been around, I mean, I was showing some houses to some clients, and we had to still follow these coronavirus protocols. We signed these papers called the PED.
Yep.
And it was a hassle. It was like, to show a house before you like kind of schedule it, call the listing agent, make sure it's cool, we go. We get in the house, show the house, right? Now you have to make sure you sign these documents and send them over to the listing agent, make sure they're legit, and then go show the house, which made it, a little bit harder. But I mean, I've only been around for a very small period of time, but just since then until now, I mean, just what was it, last week or 2 weeks ago? They just got rid of them. And so that was like a game changer by itself. And then little things like that. I mean, the industry, just like any other industry, things change, by the hour, it seems like. And so you just got to keep up. And I think our team really, keeps up with all the news and making sure that, we are as efficient as possible to make things, pretty much execute items that come our way. So it's pretty cool. I love it. The whole platform inside.
Yeah,
it's fantastic. It makes things much easier. We could do things on the fly from our phones. That's how it is. I mean, you got to innovate. If not, you're gonna stay behind.
Dinosaur and just become extinct. But yeah, I mean, it's crazy to see how we were literally told, you can't go into a home, and now you got to sign these forms and do this and do that, and now everything's going back a little bit more back to normal. You guys, open houses are coming back. You guys can go to an open house. Broker tours are coming back, so brokers are going to start actually doing more tours for just real estate agents, which was something that I was really used to myself, because I could get a little bit of a better taste of the inventory, what homes are coming on at, what they're pricing them at. And like also the cool thing was I get to also network with listing agents. They get to see my face, know that I'm out there trying to understand the inventory. And also if there's a house that comes on in your neighborhood, best believe you should know about it, because then your neighbor's gonna be like, hey, did you see that house? Or hey, what do you think about that house? Or something like that. Like, oh, I didn't see it. Or like, oh, what do you do then? So
Yeah.
so it's like ultimately you want to make sure that you're staying on top of the inventory, staying on top of all the new policies, procedures, et cetera. And like Hector was saying, for us, that's what we do. We want to be able to better serve our clients. And the way we do that is by keeping up with everything and ensuring that we're implementing all these new, innovative tools to get us, just a little bit of step of the competition. But I would say that ultimately that's our goal here, is just to continue to grow and get better and better serve all of you. One thing I did want to ask you was, what would you recommend to someone who wants to get licensed? Like, what would you say if they came and you say, hey, Hector, I want to get licensed and be a real estate agent? What would be kind of the first piece of advice that you would give that individual?
Well, first, you have to understand what your ultimate goal is in life, right? It's like, what are you trying to accomplish? Is being a real estate agent going to accomplish that or get you closer to that goal, right?
Right.
If your ultimate goal is flexibility, maybe it is, the best thing to do. If, you want a high paying, career, you have to put in the work in order for that to happen, right? Yep. So I guess my advice would be to really understand what your goal is. Mm-hmm. Long term, I would say 20 plus years, midterm 10 years, shorter terms 5 years, and then 1 year, right? I know they talk about it a lot as far as setting goals and stuff, but that's really what you should really consider. If you're going to be going into real estate, what is your goals? And once you understand what those goals are, is all right, does being a real estate agent align with those goals, right? And so let's say you want to be financially free by the age of 40, and this is how much money you need to kind of save and put in retirement and all this good stuff. Is real estate agent, is that going to get you there in X amount of years?
Right.
And so once you align your goals with what your career is, mm-hmm. then I can kind of make a better recommendation, right?
Right.
And so, but if it does align, I'll say, yes, there's going to be a lot of work that needs to get done. These are the things that you need to do in order to hit your goal.
Right.
Right. And so I would say, yeah, there's a lot of hours that you got to put in. If you're in it for the money, it's going to take you a lot of hours, a lot of networking time, sometimes weekends, sometimes evenings, where you have to, there's probably a cocktail hour, or a happy hour somewhere where there's going to be some, potential clients that you might want to have, or you want to get some connections that are going to send you some leads. It's going to take that time if you're pursuing a high income career within real estate, right?
Right. Right.
But if your goal is something different within real estate, then obviously I would recommend a different thing. So it just depends, on what your goal is for me to make the recommendation.
Yeah, I think, and that Hector brings up a great point, because not everything may align itself with being a real estate agent. There's so much other things you can do within real estate. You can go into loans if you're not, it just depends on your personality. If you're going to be that kind of person that's going to go out there and try to procure clients, you have to be able to do that and be able to step outside your comfort zone and maybe knock on a door in your neighborhood or knock on the doors around your newest listing to let neighbors know about the potential home that's coming up, and maybe even see if they're interested in selling, or just being able to do certain things where you're showcasing yourself on social media, or doing some sort of campaigns, like marketing campaigns, to get your name out there, or if you're sending out postcards, like all that kind of stuff takes time, it takes money, it takes effort. So ultimately what I'm trying to say is you may or may not want to be that person. So you can go into other areas of real estate where you can also make a good amount of money, but you may not have to be that have that personality to go out there and find clients and network, like Hector's saying, and put in those hours, because you have to always develop your pipeline. You always have to be adding contacts to your pipeline and following up with these people, because they may know somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody, and you want to be able to connect with that person, because ultimately that's who you're going to be helping, and ultimately that's how you're going to make money in this business. So it's all about connections. But at the end of the day, if you want to be in something like title, or you want to be do staging or marketing for realtors, I mean, there's so much different things you can do within real estate. Like that the sky is definitely the limit, because there's so much aspects of real estate. You can go into just being a referral agent, or you have a great network already, you can just refer realtors clients and make money that way. You don't have to do anything other than refer people. So there's other ways you can, get into this business without just being a real estate agent. It is a very flashy business, I was telling Hector earlier. I was like, bro, you got to get yourself a Mercedes now, because it's realtors. I would say realtors out there, like it's very it's a status kind of thing. Like, you know what I mean? Like, people like, oh, he drives a nice car, he must make money, obviously, right? But it goes much more beyond that. And now with social media, with Google and all these other platforms, they can know about you without even, you even knowing that they know about you. Essentially, like, they can look you up, find all these reviews about you, and you just want to make sure you have a good presence online. That's what's very, very important in this business, having a very positive presence online, because people will find whatever they want to find about you. So ultimately, like, yeah, I would just say that ultimately it's like you have to know what you want to get into. You have to know what you're passionate about. It is a fast, flashy business. We do make good money, but it's a very, very complex process that goes into actually getting your check. Like, you don't just show a house and get a check, guys. There's a lot of things that go on behind the scenes. There's a lot of facilitation. There's a lot of negotiating. There's a lot of paperwork. There's a lot of emotions. It can get scary at times. Oh, Hector's over here and start sweating. It can get scary at times. There can be a roller coaster going on. Like, stuff can go right, stuff can go wrong. But at the end of the day, there's one goal in mind. One task at hand, I would say, is to close the deal. Your buyer wants to buy it, or your seller wants to sell it. We have to bridge that gap. Everybody has to work together. It's a very team-oriented kind of business where, each side has one common goal, and that's to close the transaction. So I would say that just be very, very comfortable in understanding that there's a lot of work that goes behind the scenes. We don't just get paid to show houses. So that was my.
I think it's just it's communication. You got to be very transparent, very communicate well. And if something didn't go well, you got to communicate that as well.
Exactly.
And then you gotta
exactly.
Sometimes things don't go as planned, right? And so if something's not going as planned, you have to communicate that as well and be transparent, because if you don't communicate that, and then they find out from someone else or something else happened, then that really looks bad on the person, right? That didn't communicate that message. So
right.
That's with anything, it's just here, it's a bigger impact because you're dealing with a high price item, right? An item that's worth hundreds of thousands of dollars, right? You're not just selling a car. You're selling, like,
it's not a bottle of tequila.
It's not a bottle of tequila. It's a lot more than that, right?
Yes.
And so
yes.
dropping the ball or not communicating something in that type of transaction definitely can take a hit if you don't communicate. So that's just a business tip, all around. Just kind of keep that in mind.
Yeah. I think Hector's over here talking like he's been in the industry for like 20 years. I mean, that's just his experience, and he knows exactly, he knows sales. So he knows that, ultimately, you're going to get blamed for whatever went wrong. It's about how you communicate it and make the other party feel about you communicate and make them understand what's going on and create solutions. If you're not creating solutions, you're just adding to the problem. So ultimately, in this business, we have to be on the fly, be able to create solutions. And I think for us, we have such a great, I would say, just a great network of experience. Like within our team alone, I would say within our brokerage alone, we have over 120, 30 years of experience. And that's with a lot of agents that are very seasoned. So I think the ability just to be able to rub off on those people who have gone through certain things that may be very similar to what we're going through, or be able to talk through some stuff, just puts us in a better position to be able to create a solution and be able to be very, quick about creating those solutions, because we can, obviously tap into our internal network and be able to at least talk things through and make sure that we're doing the best by our clients. So But yeah, I mean, that's what it just comes down to is communication. Make sure that you're being very transparent. You know, like Hector was saying, you don't want someone else to find out that you didn't do something correctly or that you misled somebody or maybe you're withholding information. So ultimately, that's all it's about is being, you know, consistency, communication, you know, and just be very straightforward. You know, put yourself in the client's shoes. Make sure that you're thinking about them when you're talking or going to talk to them, because ultimately you aren't the one buying the home or selling the home. You just have to be able to help them navigate those waters, and give them options as well sometimes to, you know, be able to create that solution or get to that end result that you guys are looking for. So
So I want to ask you a
yeah.
question.
Oh shit. That's flipping the script on me, huh?
Just a little bit. No, it's regarding the market, the current market, right? I think a lot of people want to understand. I mean,
Sure.
I keep talking to clients and they're like, oh, I'm just wait till the market crashes and there's a bubble, right? And I honestly don't think it's going to crash and probably level out. But I wanted to hear what your thoughts were and what you think the market is going to do in the next 3 to 6 months, or maybe even the next year.
Yeah, you know, Hector, I've been having this conversation a lot lately myself, and it sounds very, very cliche, but a lot of folks say the same thing. Oh, when is the market going to drop? Or I'm going to wait till the market drops, or when should I buy? And for me, my answer is there's never a bad time to buy real estate. You know, you buy real estate, you wait. Stuff is cyclical, like stocks. It's going to go up, it's going to go down. At the end of the day, can you afford it? That's the number one question. Can you afford it? Are you living outside your means? Are you going to have to jeopardize giving your kids the nice diapers, or giving, you know, not taking that vacation once a year, or, you know, not going out once a week with your significant other? Are you going to have to give that up to buy this house? If you don't, you're going to live the same lifestyle, you can afford it, I say go for it. If you have a stable job, everything checks the boxes, why not? Are you going to, why wait for another opportunity when it may not come? Is my thing that I always say, because ultimately we don't know what the future holds. Real estate can continue to go up, and now you're waiting for that property, and now it got more expensive. What I will say, bro, is that is inevitable will be the interest rates will go up. They can't stay this low forever. We've literally been holding on to these amazing rates since 2014. So we're talking about almost 6 or 7 years of consistent, legitimate rates under 5%, 4 or 5%, right? You talk to your folks, your uncles, your aunts, your cousins, people who have had real estate prior and bought real estate in the 80s, 90s, whatever.
15%
minimum.
Yeah.
So it's like everything is pointing towards buying right now, you guys. And I know it's competitive. That's why you get yourself a kick-ass real estate agent who's going to hold your hand, walk you through the process, make you feel confident when writing offers, make you feel very well supported, very well educated. Like, our job is to make sure that you know what you're getting yourself into, of course. But if all the boxes check out, go for it. I don't know what the future holds. Just to be very transparent, I don't know. What I do know is interest rates inevitably will go up, you guys. We're at about 3% right now, 3.5% at times. It just depends on your credit score, your amount of down payment, all that good stuff. But you can get a rate under 3% if you have a good amount of credit, and you have a good down payment, and you don't have a crazy amount of debt. So you can get a sub 3% interest rate still. You can still get it. But is that going to be around forever? No, it's not. It's not. It's inevitable. It's going to go up. It eventually will go up. I would say that 2021, we'll see interest rates go up. Is it going to go up crazy? No. I think we're going to be hovering around closer to about 4.5%, maybe 5% by the end of 2022. But I can be wrong about that as well. But I definitely think that they're going to start trickling upward, which will also have an effect on buyers and their purchasing power, which may deter some people. Some people will exit the market. What I hope for, and I continue to see, which is a good indicator, is that inventory is going to go up. We're still getting a good amount of inventory. Stuff's still kind of moving up in certain areas where we're starting to see more houses come on, and just opening the doors to our buyers, because now they're not just going after that one particular house. They have maybe 2 or 3 they can look at that they really like. So I'll just be very, very honest with you guys and tell you that we don't know what future holds, but if it feels like the right time, and what I mean by it feels like the right time, we're like, you're tired of your apartment, it's too small, you're tired of living with your parents, this or that, whatever your reasoning may be, contact us. We'll put you in touch with an amazing lender. They'll go through everything with you guys. If everything checks out, there's no obligation. You guys can say, no, I'm going to hold off and wait, and we'll respect you just as much as if you want to move forward. So at the end of the day, it's about making sure that you can not only want to afford it, but that you understand the numbers, you know what you're getting yourself into, you know what your payment's going to look like, you know what your down payment's going to look like, you know what you're going to pay for taxes and insurance and all that good stuff. And as long as that works out for you, and you feel like, what, this is something I want to do, I want to move forward, well, then that's now our job to find you a house in that price point. That's where we come in. We go in, show you the properties that you can afford, get you out there, get a good feel for them. Then we strategize, try to write you the best offer that we can to get you an acceptance. And then we go through the whole process. And then within about a month, you have keys. So yeah, anybody can do it.
And then you get a bottle.
And then you get a legit basket with a tequila bottle, and we celebrate at your house and we have a good time. But I will say, guys, just don't be afraid to take that leap of faith. At least some of my clients, like, you guys are gonna be extremely surprised. They're like, oh, I can't afford it. I can't afford a house. And then they call me the next day. I can buy a house up to $800,000. I'm like, whoa. and then I'm like, well, we don't want you to go that high. Where do you feel comfortable? Because, that's our job as well, to align you with, the right house at the right price.
Your lifestyle too. You don't want to be what's called house poor. You're only working to kind of pay off the mortgage, right?
Yeah. We don't want you to eat what is it called, sopa china, like top ramen every night.
Yeah.
We don't want you to do that. That's why we're going to be strategize and talk with you and create a plan with you, so that we know what we're looking for, what price point we want to stay around, and that we're essentially being very, very strategic on what we're looking for to make sure that, like Hector's saying, we're not trying to make you cash poor. We're not trying to have you be a baller on a budget. That's not what we're here to do. So I would say between now and the next 6 months, it's probably going to be a really interesting time. Go out there. If you're thinking about buying, contact one of us. Even if we're not in your area, just reach out to us. We know somebody who may work in your area that we can put you in touch with, an amazing realtor and lender out there as well. So just contact us. We're always happy to help you guys. And ultimately, I would say that I don't know what the future holds. We don't know anything yet about what's going to happen. Our president, Joe Biden, is still trying to unveil his first-time homebuyer grant program, which will give first-time homebuyers up to $15,000 credit towards their purchase. But hey, guys, that's just going to make things more competitive. That's just going to get more people out there buying houses. So what we need to do is, sellers, if you're listening, or folks, if you're looking to sell and you're tired of your house, maybe you don't like your neighbor so much, or you want to get out of California, this is the right time to sell your house, because we have everybody and anybody looking to buy a house right now. So there's a lot of demand, multiple offers on everything still. But what we do know is essentially interest rates will go up. Inventory will eventually get better. So the market should stabilize. I don't see any indicators that stuff is going to fall off the map and we're going to be forced to see another 2008 again. I don't think we're going to see that. I think we're just going to see a very stable market. California is a very, very strong economy on its own. A lot of money, a lot of technology money. There's a lot of young money. There's a lot of old money. And essentially, the Bay Area is a very rich area. So I honestly think that, we'll see an inventory increase. We'll see a spike in interest rates. And I think the market will start to level itself out. But I just don't see indication that it's going to fall off, the side of the earth, and we're going to be, seeing all these foreclosures and stuff like that. Stuff will get better as we're seeing everything's trending in the right direction. So the first step is just picking up the phone, and you never know, in a couple months or a couple weeks, maybe we might be at your house popping one of these bad boys here. So
yeah. So I wanted to add, just if you guys are in the South Bay, I kind of cover San Jose, Gilroy, Hollister area, Morgan Hill, and I do cover the Central Valley as well, Merced, and any of the cities around that too as well. So if you guys are ever needing anything around that area, selling, buying, investing, just hit me up. I already have some connections in those areas. And I'm starting to get to know the Central Valley pretty good. So
So we got you covered.
Which is crazy because a lot of the people from the Bay Area are moving to the Central Valley. You know, a lot of people are working from home, or you know,
bang for your buck.
Yeah,
or bang for your buck out there.
So just being flexible with their works. Maybe they'll have to just go in 2 or 3 times a week, and then the other 2 or 3 times, you know, they can work from home, for example. And so people are actually making that move. And so that's another big trend that we're starting to see is like, you know, people from California are moving to other locations as well. So again, you want to just kind of take a look, you know, chat, you know, give us a ring.
Well, we appreciate you guys very much. Want to appreciate, you know, shout out to all the listeners out there. We had a good amount of people jumping in and off, on and off the live here. So we appreciate all you guys for supporting us, jumping on and just having a little listen. We talked about Hector's journey to becoming a real estate agent, gave it a little bit of advice, talked some tequila, and talked about having the bottles on the tables at the weddings and all that good stuff, and how it was really, really deeply embedded in our culture. But ultimately, it's just one of those staple drinks that you can share some good stories with and some bad ones. So tequila is one of those things that's always going to be around, and definitely something that we're going to hopefully share with you one day when we get you the keys to your beautiful home or help you sell your beautiful home. So we're here to help you guys. We got you covered, whether it's the North Bay, South Bay, Central Valley. You know, that's where we're looking to just create an amazing group of real estate agents throughout the entire California, you know, the entire California area, whether it's north, south, you name it. Just be able to help our clients, put you in touch with some amazing individuals that are going to get the job done for you, and ultimately do well by you. So yeah, once again, Hector, appreciate you, bro. Thanks for jumping on.
Thanks for having me.
Once again, Hector is now part of Alvarez and Associates at Boulevard Real Estate. He's going to take the entire real estate industry by storm, you guys. So whatever you guys need, holler at us. We're here to help, and ultimately we're here to ensure that we help you reach your desired results. So on that note, guys, we're gonna cheers, and we're gonna get out of here, and we're gonna enjoy the rest of our evening. You guys do the same, and we'll see you guys very soon. Any last things to say?
No, man, just have a great evening, and enjoy the post-COVID era.
Yeah, it's begun. So cheers, guys. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time. Thanks, guys.